chickadees, it's finally here. Happy Festivus. Oh my goodness, we made it to this evening. I am so excited for all of the fantastic guests I have for us this evening. I know Nurse Kim just finished her live stream and sent a bunch of you over here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. You're going to have a good time. If you don't know about Festivus, you're going to learn about it tonight, because Festivus is for the rest of us. Those individuals that don't want to have a Christmas tree, we have our poll. It is our evening to air our grievances, and I've got a lot of them for 2025, let me tell you. And these people I'm going to have on here, they're going to have grievances too. So we're going to air it all. I thank you so much for being here. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do that now. Hit the like, hit the share, make sure you do notifications, because I have a lot of really good content coming up in 2026. There's a lot. People have gone a little off the rails, and so there's a lot to cover. But right now, I'm going to bring in my friends, the lovely and beautiful Miss Boston Bia. And her, I always say it this way because DJ calls Bia his co-host, and I always say it the other way. Bia's co-host, yes, DJ.
I think that's more accurate.
Amen. Heck yes. Let me see if I can get my world together here.
Love it.
Every once in a while, Ms. Demeanor gets her act together and she can do, a couple things at one time. So thank you so much for coming on. What do you know about Festivus?
Just what you've told us. Because we didn't watch Seinfeld. I'm Italian Jew from New York, but yeah, I didn't watch. So,
well, my husband showed me a clip, so I understand.
I got a problem with you people. That's what Festivus is about. Yes. That's what you do. I got a problem with you people. Yes. And I'm going to tell you about it. Air my grievances. So I know I have grievances from this year. What are you? Tell me a couple of your grievances from 2025.
Let's see. An innocent woman needing 2 trials.
Perfect. Yes.
An innocent woman incarcerated?
Yeah. So I got a grievance with Judge Beverly Cannoni. I got plenty of grievances that I can go on that little bandwagon. Yeah, I feel I'm so happy that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is home this evening. I hope she takes a really long, hot bath, because that's just one of those things that you need to do. And I hope she enjoys her family and spends a lot of good quality time. I thought it was very appropriate for her to walk out of the courthouse today in a white jacket. I loved it. I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. So yes. Yeah, Judge McCarthy Naaman. You see, that's a Seinfeld thing too, because on Seinfeld, they never said Newman. They would say Newman. And so I started with my friends, which I should probably say too. I should have said this before I brought y'all in. I'm so sorry. My friends at Justice Served TV, Michael Bryant and Linda Kenny Bodden, adore them. Yes. I don't want anyone to think that I did not invite them for this evening. They are busy people. And so they had conflicts. They were not able to make it tonight, but they are some of my closest peeps. I really, really appreciate them. And Katt Not Williams. I don't know. which poll emoji do you want to use? I thought about the barber one, but hey, make your choice. So yeah, I have Judge McCarthy Naaman. I definitely have some grievances. Y'all don't have any other grievances?
Oh,
I
I
know
mean,
you
the-
do.
Oh, yes.
The McAlberts like gaslighting us with their defamation suit, followed by clearly a self-funded fundraiser. That of the 100,000, they probably put in 80.
Wow. Hey, it looks good on paper, right?
It
we don't
great
care.
on paper, guys. Yeah, you've really convinced us. You're just, you have so much support out there.
Yeah, it's funny to me when people do things for appearances, because that's just pointless. Deep down, you know what it actually is. And that's across the board. I have seen, and y'all know, I know the two of you know, especially when I'm talking about when I say this, I have seen a lot of behavior in the past couple 2-3 months that is strictly for appearances. Drives me batty. I don't participate. Y'all know that. Everybody that's in here on any regular basis knows misdemeanor doesn't do drama. I don't do controversy. I ain't got time for all of that. I got business to be had. So yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that it's a big problem that we're having in the community, and humans have a tendency to tribalize, to polarize. I mean, if you look at, going way back to the beginning of even before civilized man, and then when you look at it now, you look at the political parties. It's not, hey, we disagree. It's a lot of demonizing and mud throwing between the two sides. So you've seen that seep into the Massachusetts justice movement, and we are hoping to try to create some unity around, at least starting with Karen Reed, but then we're also going to be tackling other causes as well. And we were able to coalesce a group, and we hope to continue to do that.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I'm kind of taking this on a different turn, but it's a grievance that I have of mine. I did a live stream last night, and we were covering an individual that is for all intents and purposes wrongly convicted, and he is in prison. He should not be in prison. And there is the star witness that actually helped get him convicted recanted his entire testimony.
Ooh.
And we went over the video of him recanting this testimony. And one of the individuals that came in the chat just started arguing and saying he deserves to be there. And I'm like, okay, I have some ground rules in the Demeanor household. If you're going to come to my house and play,
Okay.
we don't name call. We don't disparage people. We welcome opposing opinions. But if you're going to have that opposing opinion, guess what, guys? You're going to have some data to support it. You don't get to just come in and bluster on my channel. That ain't what we do here. I don't do it anywhere in my life. And we're definitely not going to do it on my channel. And we kept asking her why she felt the way she felt. And this was the second time she's done this on my channel when we've covered Zachary Adams. And she never tells us anything. And I'm like, I can't get behind that. You need to give me a reason. Like, what am I not seeing? Because I've watched the whole trial and I've seen all the evidence, and I've seen actually even more evidence that wasn't even in the trial. And I've watched the post-conviction relief hearings, and I'm innocent. So help me understand why you're in the position that you're in. People have a hard time with that. They really struggle. I watched it today, as a matter of fact. I think this is a good conversation to have in light of everything. Today I was watching Defense Diaries because I was on Justice Served TV and the feed wasn't coming in. And so I went to Defense Diaries, who had the glare on, and they were watching the feed from Law Girls Not Attorneys, I think is what their channel is.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those people. I was dogging on Bradle because I feel like Kelsey could have been out before Thanksgiving. And I feel like it was a little bit of a pissing match that was going on with the judge. And that's what I had put in the comments and that. But I think it wasn't on Defense Diaries chat, because that's the chat that I was in. But I guess over in Will's chat, they were like, Bradle's an idiot and blah, blah. And they were just attacking him. And I'm like, hey. everybody, take a deep breath.
Right.
You can disagree with someone, or you can see that someone makes a mistake, but you don't have to then drag them because they made that mistake. Like,
Right.
I still think Mr. Bradle is phenomenal. Adore him, love him, think he's probably one of the best things that happened to Kelsey. But at the same time, she could have been out before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Shut the front door. What are we doing? So,
And I think it's about respect, right? I mean, we're not always going to agree, but we just have to be respectful. I do agree with your point on that, but also the other point is that had they gone to this judge who already is the one who put her in, incarcerated her, they would have lost their appeal with the 12 panel SJC. So the SJC was going to, for all intents and purposes, seem to be more neutral, as opposed to McCarthy Naiman, who is the one that put her there because of her asking the court for accommodations. So
yeah, I totally see your point, and I see some of the people in the chat that saying that Bob was dragging Bradle. No, Bob is a defense attorney, so
right.
he works in the industry. And if Bob says, "Hey, I think," and I know that Allie has said it on their channel in the past too, if there was a way to get her out sooner, we probably should have gone that route. I mean, ultimately, you want out,
though. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think. What would be the risk that you appeal
That
to the
she
SJC
declined?
again because she didn't let you out? I mean, you're not any worse off. You know?
There was a complete re-strategizing in the Karen Reed case from trial 1 to trial 2. There was a completely different strategy. So sometimes you learn by no pun intended, trial and error.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tough crowd. Anyway,
well, ironically, that's one of our friends on Misdemeanors channel, is the Trial and Error podcast. So,
well, there you go. I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, they are heavily covering the Zachary Adams post-conviction relief. They're a big part of it. In fact, one of the individuals, Dr. Spirko, I wanted to have her on my channel, and I can't because she's on the witness list for the post-conviction relief hearings. So she can't speak about anything that has to do with it at this point. And yes, I see in the chat here, it was Kelsey's call. She made the decisions. Hey, if that's the case, I take back everything I said, because it should be Kelsey's choice. I agree. And yes, saying you disagree as a lawyer doesn't mean you're right and taking crap. I think I'm talking crap about a lawyer. The whole stream is ick. I unsubbed from both. Hey, that's your choice. Absolutely. I am 100% interested in different viewpoints. I want to understand. I want to debate those. And some of you are new to my YouTube channel, and you don't know that DJ and I have had private conversations, and we've gone at it.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always respectfully.
Yeah. We made really good points. You know what I would love to ask you now, if you'll give me the opportunity? I'm really curious if you could give us a couple of minutes on Richard Allen and what you think his prospects might be for the future.
I have not followed that case.
Oh, really?
At all.
Okay.
There are a couple reasons I haven't. I find it to be too much like another Karen Reed. It's very, very divisive.
Right.
The people are very much on their sides, and I don't want any part of that.
Okay.
And so I didn't follow it when it was going on. I can tell you the people that I respect and trust feel that he got the shaft. And so I'm kind of there too. Yeah. I think he probably got the shaft too. I think there were shenanigans that went on in that case, like there have been in several others. And that is why we are airing our grievances about it, doggone it.
Yes. We'll have to table that, DJ. I'll talk to you about the Allen case again.
No, I know. It is a great, it's I hope there's some sort of redress for him through the appeal.
It's so
Raul
hard.
Valle, what do you have? What are they charging him with this time?
So they're all second degree, except for one, which is third degree, if I'm remembering correctly. And that's coming up. He's got a hearing on the 6th, I think is when it is, in January. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to depend on what evidence comes into this particular trial. We kind of saw what happened the last time. I will maintain my position. Y'all don't know this. This is the conversation that DJ and I went at each other on. Because I absolutely believe that what it's being portrayed as is not necessarily what happened. I think he was a young, scared kid, and circumstances and things got out of hand. I really, really believe that if we were dealing with adults, I'd look at it very differently. But we were looking at a 16, 17-year-old kid. That's what I consider him, a kid. He's not now, but at the time it happened. So I'm hoping, I'm sure he'll need to be punished in some way for the loss of life for Jimmy McGrath. But the other individuals that were injured, it's going to come down to, the prior trial, they've already acquitted him of any of the intentional actions. So everything that is on the table now is under the reckless. And so that's a very different way the jury can go. And then if they find him guilty of reckless, then they still have to go through whether they felt he was acting in self-defense. So that's how it works in Connecticut for these charges, is they start at the top and then they just keep on going down. Then when they decide on a charge that they all agree that he is guilty of, then they have to determine whether he acted in self-defense or not. But they can't consider self-defense until they get to an actual guilty.
It's like process of elimination.
Yeah, it kind of is, until you get to the very bottom charge, whatever that may be in the situation. And yes, Susie Q. Boston, she says, I don't like that all the other kids in the car got immunity. Yes, it of a lot of things that we are witnessing in the Tennessee, or in the Zachary Adams case. Very, very similar situations. And hey, it's me, Stacy. I don't know if he has an attorney. That is what January 6th is going to be about, is to determine, if he has an attorney on record, does he have proper representation? If not, at that time, the judge has already stated that they will appoint a public defender. So
do you think, I know you think, that they certainly overcharged him. Do you think that that the prosecutor was effective? Because they didn't seem terribly effective to me.
No, I have grievances with the prosecution. There were many times in that trial replay that I was screaming at the screen, because it looked pretty obvious to me that all of these people decided this is what the story was going to be. And they had and honestly, the jury picked up on it, because the jury foreman was interviewed afterward, and he came out and said that we knew, these witnesses could remember everything, and then all of a sudden
can't remember a thing.
Can't remember. I don't recall. So I was not impressed with the prosecutor at all. Neither one of them, because there was a male and a female, and I didn't care for either one of them, but nothing like the disdain and the absolute debauchery that I saw in Zachary Adams' case. That is a whole different level of prosecutorial misconduct. It's awful.
Are you covering Mickey Stines as well when that?
I will be, yes.
Okay.
That my plan is to continue to have some coverage on that. Yeah, Mickey Stines, Raul Valle, Courtney Clenny, Kouri Richins, Antonio Brown, Mark Sanchez,
Antonio Brown, I forgot about him.
Nick Reiner. Who else do I have? Barry Morphew, Brad Simpson. These are all pending cases, and we don't know what's going to happen with the David case out of California, because that's kind of hit a standstill. Oh, Laken Snelling. That's another one. I just saw today that Laken Snelling is the University of Kentucky cheerleader girl that was pregnant, had her baby, and left it in the closet. I'll be covering that one also. And I see Leah is asking Aaron Spencer. I am not covering Aaron Spencer, and here is why. I don't do kids. So that involves a minor. So I'm not going to do, I won't be doing that one. Oh yeah, Sarah Grace Patrick. I forgot about that one. Yeah, her trial actually starts the first week of January. So that's why I say there's a lot of stuff going on in 2026. So
do you have a sense of what Stines' defense is going to be?
I believe it will be a mental health issue.
Okay.
And the reason I think that is because what we have seen in some of the pretrial hearings has shown me that I don't think he was of sound mind when he took these actions. And so there were witnesses that stated he was not acting appropriately and just not making sense. And so I think there is, I mean, they couldn't even do the initial hearing because they needed to get him mental health assistance first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because he had lunch with the judge that day. So you wonder, I hate to say, what the demeanor.
I always say that. Look at their demeanor.
Yeah. What was the demeanor of Sheriff Stines at lunch?
Yeah, there were so many different stories that came out. I know the daughter, Mickey's daughter, came out and did a TikTok and kind of cleared things up. So, you know, I'm hopeful that we can maybe get a clearer understanding of what happened. It obviously does. It looks like what we were hearing as far as rumors and that there was something going on with the judge and Mickey's daughter is not the case.
Okay.
But I'm not sure that there wasn't something going on, if that makes sense.
Right. That he saw on his phone. Like, what else would he have seen? It would have had to, we're at a 90 percentile. It would have had to have been a female something that Sheriff Stines didn't like.
I feel like, yeah, I think there is so much more to that case than what we know. And that is one I'm excited to watch because they're being very tight-lipped about it. Laken Snelling is a bit that way too. They're very tight-lipped about it, so I'm excited to see kind of what evidence gets brought out in the trial.
That's gonna be fascinating. Yeah, we're definitely having you on for that one. Well, we want to have you on to do we wanted you to do this kind of like the buffet smorgasbord to kind of give our audience, a sense of what you're thinking about the cases that you're set to cover. So we got to get that in the books, Bia.
Yes.
Well, and I'll tell you, I have as everybody knows, I send the upcoming dates out every single Sunday. I do that on TikTok, YouTube, and on the Twix. But in addition to those dates, I only put what I can fit on the screen. There's so many more. And a lot of times people will say, well, don't forget about this and don't forget about this. And I'm like, I got it. And I don't live, all of my court cases do not live and breathe in Massachusetts. And so there are a lot of things going on that I don't cover in Massachusetts because I'm not covering Sandra Birchmore because it's a federal case. It's going to be like pulling teeth to get any information. I'm not going to cover that. That'll make me go crazy. And there's so much other, there are so many other cases that can be covered. So in addition to the list that I send out, I also have, and on occasion, usually about once a month, I'll send this out on a Saturday, cases that are on my radar that don't have dates, that are things going on. We're kind of waiting. Ellen Greenberg is one of those. Grant Solomon out of Tennessee is another one that I have on my radar, definitely.
What's that about? Can you?
Yeah. So Grant Solomon, there is no case at this point.
Mm-hmm.
His Grant Solomon was killed when his vehicle ran over him at a sports facility, and his father was the only one there at the time. Lots of questions about father having some SA issues with Grant's younger sister. Mom and dad were divorced at the time.
Uh-huh.
Grant had stated that when he turned 18, he was going to approach the authorities about what he knew had been happening to his younger sister. And all of a sudden,
he's gone.
Grant is killed literally weeks after his 18th birthday.
Wow.
And then to add, yes. And it was all done very quickly. All of the decisions were made very quickly. Now, I'll back up and say Grant's father, Aaron Solomon, was a very public figure in Tennessee. I used to watch him on the news every single evening. He was on WSMV there in Middle Tennessee, and he had to leave that job under some suspicious circumstances. And so there's a lot to unpack there, but then to make it all that much, I say that because I think he has connections.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a church that I think was involved in some of these connections as well. And then earlier this year, Grant's mother was arrested for putting a hit out on Aaron Solomon. Yes.
What?
Wow.
So,
oh my God, that
Mom,
plot thickens.
Yes. So it is definitely a case that I will continue to keep on my radar to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with Angie. That's the mom. But there's a lot there. So yeah. If I did a live stream kind of giving a background and a summary on it. So go back and look on my channel and you'll get an idea. We went over some of the scene photos, and you know who else knows a ton about this and has a podcast? And I started to listen to it. Loren Conlin. And if y'all don't know who Loren Conlin is, no. LA Magazine, she was actually on Fox Weather earlier today. She has been at the Luigi Mangione hearings in New York City. Loren is awesome, but she did a 3-season podcast on the Grant Solomon case in and of itself. And so let me see if I can remember the name. Corruption in Tennessee is what it's called. And so she goes way in deep on that. And I've had her on my channel as well. So, but if you want to see the pictures and kind of have an idea, it's on my channel. Go check it out, because we did that. Gosh, it's been a couple of months now. And I don't see, is Katt in the chat? Is Katt in the chat?
Katt was in the chat.
She was in the chat. Where'd she go?
And
she needs to get herself backstage.
I don't think it went in your chat. It didn't post. I just posted about Madison Holton, the case, and it's not new, but it was in Eclectic, Alabama, and they accused him of killing his mom and dad. He was, I don't know, like 17. That story, I've told Bia the story. That story blew me away. He had basically like a retired FBI agent or Secret Service agent that came in and helped his uncles, who were one of his uncles was active police officer. His other uncle was former police officer, and they got that sheriff is like, he did it. It's almost like he was handcuffed. He couldn't have done it, And he's like, no, he did it. It was like,
wow.
yeah. And he got off and went and joined the army and all that. But
oh,
they
yeah, I'll
dropped the
definitely look
charges.
into that. And I
Yeah.
have to ask, Elizabeth, True Sunlight podcast, are we talking Mandy Matney? Is that who we're talking about with True Sunlight podcast? That did episodes on the Solomon case? Because if that's true, I'm going to have to check that out too, in addition to Loren's, because Loren did a fantastic job. Okay, it's time to meet the hardest working content creator on YouTube, Katt Williams. Katt Not Williams, I should say.
I was like, yeah, I gotta be careful. Katt Not Williams. Good to meet you guys.
Thank you so much for being on. This is the first time that Katt and I have actually ever talked to each other.
Wow.
I know it doesn't feel like that. I always think of, being in a chat. It still feels real.
It does, yes. Yeah, we've been in each other's chats, and Katt has been covering a lot of the Zachary Adams case as well. She's done phenomenal work, and she had Dana McClendon on. When was that? Just
Last
like
Wednesday,
last week sometime. And he is a
encyclopedia.
Yes, a defense attorney close to the case and knows everything and has the maps. And yeah, he's awesome. I am so looking forward to having him on my channel at some point as well. So I hate to boot Boston Bia and DJ, but it's going to be Katt's turn to air her grievances.
All right, bye.
You don't have to air her grievances?
Good to meet you, Katt. Not
Bye,
me.
Good
Katt.
to meet you.
Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks for
Bye.
having us.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for
Take
coming
care.
on.
No
Have a
problem.
Talk to you
good
soon.
holiday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, so where do we start?
I know. Tell me.
So I think Courtney Clenny, because you mentioned it, but you didn't start riffing on Courtney Clenny.
Not
And
yet. No, girls got issues.
That's a grievance for me, because right now we are in 2025 with a 2026 trial date for something that should have gone to trial by the end of 2023. And yet here we are.
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah, I have grievances about that. I one of my big grievances of 2025, and I don't know if anybody paid attention to this or followed it, and I feel like it was 2025. I don't think it was last year. Alec Baldwin, the Rust trial. Did you cover
it?
any of that?
I think that was that 2025?
I feel
Hold
like
on.
it
Alec
was this year.
I have no sense of time.
Because I feel like 2024 was the armorer. Oh, it was 2024? Oh,
I think it was 2024. And I'm only saying that because throughout the YSL trial, which, debate on when that officially ended, but at least for the 6 that took it to the trial that everyone was watching, everyone was making the reference. Like, I wish we had the judge from the Rust trial. So
She's awesome.
that had already had to have happened.
Yeah. Okay. So I got my years mixed up. Woo, because that special prosecutor.
Oh, she was hard to listen to.
She was awful. And then she was shady. Let's put the penguin, which is Jennifer Nichols, in case anybody doesn't know who that is.
Bad Jennifer.
Bad Jennifer. We ultimately named her the Penguin at the end of the trial because she would waddle around in the courtroom. And so we thought she looked like the Penguin from Batman.
It's true.
And so, I want to put her and, Carrie Morrissey, Kelly. Carrie Morrissey in the same room. Let them have at it.
I think Carrie Morrissey just has an annoying demeanor, and just doesn't want to see where she could be wrong about something and be
she's never wrong
and incessant to try to prove that she's correct. Whereas I do think Jennifer Nichols, at least I think there's clear-cut evidence that she's
crooked.
Yes, straight
manipulative
procedural misconduct.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I don't want to compare somebody else on that level, even though they both annoy me. They grate my ears. I don't want to watch them. I don't want to hear them.
Yes. Yes. So Courtney Clenny, what do we, she just has been dragging everything out. Well, although there was the kind of crazy stuff that was going on with the prosecution in Courtney Clenny too.
Yeah, I think a straight year and a half of that delay is the prosecution's fault. And to me, it's so stupid because you have what I think could be an open and shut case. You present your case for second-degree murder. Maybe there's going to be some lesser includeds, but you got Nosy, the lead prosecutor, who stepped down now once the defense wanted to depose him, and the former judge found that there was a violation of attorney-client privilege because he didn't deploy a taint team to filter through messages. You have a case. You have the evidence to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt. You might have to fight the affirmative defense that Courtney Clenny wants to raise, but you have enough evidence there. I think the case is justly brought. So why are you going to engage in some type of overreach where now you set your case backwards?
I don't know what's going on with a lot of these prosecutions and district attorneys' offices. I mean, we were just talking about it with Raul Valle, that they overcharged that case. And so here we are after all of this. Raul was acquitted on all of the most serious charges. And now we're going to go back to trial for what it should have been all along. And oh, she's gone.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I was trying to turn off. You see, it's like autofocusing. I was trying to see if I could turn it off. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry,
Mine
guys.
does that sometimes too. Yeah.
But I'm here.
Technology. It's grand.
But yeah, I think overcharging, it's not unusual to see in the charging instrument. You change from the arrest, maybe you upgrade because you find out more information, or you decide to drop something before trial. But then if you have something that you're charging and it's egregious, it's overcharged, or maybe you just don't have enough evidence to get there, but you try it. You see if you can take it to trial and let the jury decide.
Or take it to a grand jury and have them decide whether they want to give a true bill.
Well, hold on. So I was reading a case last night, and this is a mini grievance. I didn't get to read the whole decision, but there was
aren't
a judge.
any mini grievances tonight,
No,
Kat.
that's true.
No mini grievances. They're all.
This judge made like a sua sponte decision to dismiss charges against the defendant on the grounds they had looked at statistics, and it seems like they were trying to say like the prosecution office statistically prosecutes certain demographics more than others, but they didn't really apply any logic specific to the facts of the individual case. So the issue went to the Court of Appeals. And one of the case sites that I saw, which is what caught my eye, I have not read the whole 108-page opinion against this judge, which
niblets.
108 pages of a panel of 3 judges scorching one judge. I do want to read it. There was a footnote with this case law where it's like established law. This is over in Kentucky, where there was a case in the 50s, and it's still cited. It's like common law that you can be a victim of a victim of the crime that someone's trying to get a grand jury to return an indictment on, can be the jury foreperson. And I don't mean a victim that's experienced, where did someone commit burglary and I'm a victim of a burglary. This case was the victim became the foreperson and returned an indictment against the individual that robbed them.
What?
I'm not kidding. I was reading this last night.
Okay, I'm going to have to put my Tales of the Bizarro World up. This is insane.
Yes. So it's one of those things where, you hear a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich, but this was like, it starts with like the person being the victim of the ham sandwich and then pointing the finger at the ham sandwich. And that would be Kentucky, right? That's Kentucky case law.
Well,
but I never knew
you got
that
another Commonwealth
there.
there. I feel like the Commonwealth states, they do some crazy things. Kentucky is another Commonwealth.
Yep.
And they do some janky things, although I can't say anything because look at in Tennessee with Zachary Adams. But yeah, that is insanity.
Yep.
Well, that's a good grievance to have. That's a fantastic grievance.
Could not believe it. I stopped reading right there. I was like, this is a sign for me to go to bed.
Yeah, was this a town of 6 people? Kelly is asking.
I wonder what the town was. Kelly, when I see you in a chat, I'll find the case and send it to you. But I'm sure if you search like Kentucky judge indictment reinstated, you'll pull up the article.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people talking about Fraser Bohm. I don't even know why this case is going to trial either.
Well, I do have major concerns, and the first person I saw bringing attention to it was Ariadna Jacob. She did a bunch of Twitter threads on it, and she was pointing out that there's been calls for action about this specific roadway.
Yes, it's
For a
called Dead
long
Man's
time.
Curve.
Yeah, so like, why don't we fix that to
Fix it.
prevent the crime from happening?
Oh, that would make too much sense. And I mean, California. Well, it's just California does some weird stuff, man.
Maybe it's my
weird.
lights triggering these. I'm gonna just turn those off.
Oh,
Is it?
it's not bothering me.
It's
Sometimes
like
I have to
showing-
do like the hand thing to like
maybe.
reset it.
I think it was the lights.
How funny. Oh, it's not called Dead Man's Curve. Oh, and everybody's a journalist wrote that. But my understanding is that yes, there have been several problems there, and nobody's doing anything about it. It's like, what in the world? Yeah. I tell you another grievance I have. Lack of consistency in judicial position. So, like, we just finished watching Brian Walshe's trial. Judge Frenier was phenomenal. It was wonderful.
Yep, I heard good things.
She was very fair. She acted like a judge should act. And then you go to Kelsey Fitzsimmons, who had her hearing today and finally is going to be home. And she's in front of Judge McCarthy Naiman. Awful. Well, this time she was okay, but the last time she was despicable in how she talked. You know how Judge McGinley would talk to good Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is how Judge McCarthy Naiman talked in the prior hearing on September 11th when Kelsey was taken into custody.
Grates my gears, especially in a higher profile case, because
Yes.
that's where now these pretrial proceedings before jury selection, the judge's own demeanor could already be impacting and imparting on the public.
Yeah, and I did not know until last night talking to Nicole that the jury...
That was a great like context laid out for the
She was awesome.
Autry recanting.
Yeah. She was so awesome. But I didn't know until last night that the jury in Zach's case had been seated, and then there was like a month-long break that they weren't sequestered, walked all around town and chatted with everybody about whatever they wanted to, and then they showed up for jury duty. I'm like, what is happening?
I'm about to be a juror on this Holly Bobo case. Like, you're not supposed to talk about it, but and then there was also, I forget where we caught the snippet. I think it was just like a news story that we're looking back at. And when they first tried to seat a jury pool, they said that 97% of those polled had heard or discussed the case.
Wow.
97%.
Well, hearing about it, I know how Serenity is correcting me. It was 2 months in between when the jury was seated and the
Even
trial.
worse.
Yes. That's how this whole case is. Everything.
And, like,
just when you think it's bad enough, no.
It's
Hold
that was
my
in, like
beer.
summer break, right? So because September was the trial, so it would have been kids are home from school, everyone's hanging out by the pool. Let's just talk about.
Yeah. Absolute
Oh.
insanity in that case. And you know, I fear some of the cases that are coming up. I referenced in the first half hour the David case out of California. I worry about that one because I feel like they're not necessarily handling evidence, and it seems janky. I'm not feeling good about that.
I get so confused at that case because there is so much like you know, those Twitter accounts that look like they're some type of media outlet, but then they're really not. They're just like trying to talk about whatever story, and they're all recycling one piece of speculation, but it'll act like it's a news report.
Right.
And I'm not actively trying to engage in a case. When I'm actively trying to engage in a case, I have a conscious filter on about like what information I'm taking in and
Sure.
looking at it with a critical lens. But since I'm not trying to look for information on that case, but it's everywhere, I think like passively, I'm just like absorbing some of it. And a lot of it is just completely speculative. And
Oh,
it's
yes.
so far down, like, I would have to completely shut it out to start a deep dive into that case and just blank slate myself.
Well, and I'll tell you, Loren Conlin, when I had her on, we spoke of that case briefly. And she actually is like, look, this is how the information comes in. I'm a journalist. I can tell you this is what we get. This is what the police say, and that. So she kind of broke it down for us the one evening that I had her on, and Jodene, of course, who's going to be coming on at 7:00. She and I had a pretty lengthy conversation in our live stream that we covered the David case, and so. They're keeping it pretty close to the vest.
I think that's better for the investigation, the integrity of the investigation.
I think it is too, but I worry.
It's a bit of a contrast to the Holly Bobo where, you know, you have the rumor mill running wild in the town and you'd really have to move the trial to the opposite side of the state to find a possible jury pool that's not tainted.
I have to say, I don't exactly know, and this is one of my grievances. And I talked briefly with Nicole about it last night, the Bobo family. Like, I understand it's your child and you want to find them and you want to do everything you possibly can. I get that part of it. But let's be honest about things. They kind of hindered the investigation by having themselves in it all the time and going and talking to. I wouldn't feel safe to go talk to somebody in their home about whether, if I thought they actually took my daughter or my child and killed them, I'm going to go,
and
hey.
She had information that family members typically, even if they're asking and a law enforcement officer is sympathetic or district attorney sympathetic and wants to give it to the family, there's things that they're not supposed to be giving to family members. But she not only had TBI giving her information, and I'd speculate prosecutors, but she also had this private investigator, Dennis Benjamin, who was getting information from TBI, giving information directly to her. And then she's going and knocking on doors, and everyone she's speaking to as a mom, I'm not going to say she's not a fierce advocate. She
Absolutely.
she was probably, if you put billable hours to it, she was probably putting in 80 hours a week.
Yes.
Or more. So no criticism there on the effort, but the way she was doing it, you're knocking on doors with information that nobody else has. When you ask questions, certain things get your brain neurons fire. So if someone's like, hey, do you remember somebody putting ice on their hand that day, and you're trying to figure out if someone was injured that day, do you remember them putting ice or asking for ice? Well, if you ask that same person 2 years later, do you remember something about ice? And they're like, yeah, I do remember something about ice. But what they're remembering is the question you asked them.
Exactly.
And it's not personal knowledge of the event.
That's what Dr. Spirko talks about. That is exactly what happened with Dylan. You probably listened to the podcast that they did on Dylan's confession, and I use
the
that
timeline
term very, very
timeline
loosely.
leading to his confession.
Well, the podcast I'm talking about, it was Dana and Dr. Spirko, and she literally in the podcast, she does to Dana exactly what the investigators were doing
she's
to
so
Dylan.
Good.
Oh, she's fantastic. Yeah. Gaslighting Dana in real time was too funny. That is exactly what happened. If y'all haven't checked out Trial and Error podcast on this particular case, you should, because they have fantastic content. And I just have to tell everybody, as another little plug for Dr. Spirko, I need to get this out. The prosecuting attorney is now a judge and is up for re-election. And the judge has a website that she put together.
Just tell the chat to go to jennifernicholsforjudge.com and see
Jennifer
where it
Nichols
takes you.
for Judge, because it ends up taking you to innocentbrothers.com, which is their website to try to get Dylan and Zach free. And that alone, I'm like, this woman is fierce. I love her. She is my spirit animal. I'm so excited to know anything about it. Jennifer Nichols for Judge. Yes. Head there and it will take you right straight to the Innocent Brothers. And the innocentbrothers.com website has tons of information and it links back to their YouTube channel. So yes, please go check it out. Jennifer Nichols is a heifer. So we don't like her. So
and we can turn that into a grievance by saying the reason we found out about that is, I don't even remember the question Jennifer Nichols was asked about.
But it was in the post-conviction relief hearing.
Yes. If you've missed this, guys, you get to see more than one prosecutor. I think we have 3 prosecutors take the stand.
I know of 2 because I know that Hagerman and her.
And Beth Boswell.
Oh, and Beth Boswell.
Stripey lady.
Yes, Beth Boswell. She was like the head lady at the time.
Yeah, because she was a I always get that wrong. The assistant U.S. attorney.
Right.
And state attorney on the Holly Bobo case.
Yep.
So she
at the
was
same
like
time.
The pipeline, the revolving door. She was playing both. She was the head honcho in both roles. So that's a good time. But Jennifer Nichols, she got asked some question, and to deflect from answering the question, she went on a whole sidebar. She's like, I'm glad you asked. And then she's like, you hired a pseudo forensic scientist and whatever she is. I think they're looking into her license. Does she still have a license? And then she starts monologuing. She goes down this spiral. Like, she doesn't even remember Katie Spirko's name. She's acting like she doesn't know her name. And ends it. And she starts turning to the judge and she goes, she bought my name as a domain name.
She bought domains.
All because she was asked some question about her own conduct.
It was quite the diatribe that she went on. I have to say, it was fantastic. I loved that. And I love how my boyfriend, Mr. Bowtie Bates.
Love him.
I love him. He's like so calm, cool. Well, so who called who? Did you call me or did I call you? Mr. Bates, you can get as loud as you want, but it's not going to make me change my answer. I was like, oh, Lord.
She's a judge.
She's awful. She is absolutely awful. That's why I put that clip on the Twix the other day of her in giving this specific testimony. It was because it's so awful for her, and I want as many people as possible to know about it.
Well, and it's like, just think of all the other cases that if you could put a prosecutor on the witness stand. And like, I really don't think a lot of them would rise to this level, but there are some prosecutors out there that would be just as bad, hands down, if they had to get put on the stand. And we never get that opportunity to see it because the courts are like, no, they don't need to be a witness.
She was so excited. She was so excited to tell all of her things. And this woman who isn't qualified for anything to go pick up some evidence that she snuck in there and got in front of her. Or in front of them. Yeah.
Well, do you remember this? I don't recall, Mr. Bates. Well, when looking at the report, refresh your recollection. I don't have my readers. Well, can you take a break to go get them? Like, lady.
He goes, here. I loved that. Thank you.
Was that Karen Reed 1 where they had readers that they were shuffling around?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was season 1 or season 2, but yes.
I think it was season 1. Oh, it might have been 2.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I feel like, and speaking of that case, I feel like those 2 seasons were so different. Talk about same evidence, basically. But in the second one, I think and I said this in one of my TikTok videos right toward the very tail end of Karen Reed season 2, that, I complained about Lally not knowing what the heck he was doing in season 1, but we heard about high tops and we heard about how much snow on the ground, every single person that testified. But in retrospect,
annoying in different ways, Lally versus.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yes, absolutely. I was just surprised that as I got toward the end of that trial, I thought, gosh, I almost feel like Lally did a better job in getting the point across about, what was going on that night, why it was important to know that. And Hank never even talked about it. And Hank, he'd make that face where he looks kind of like a rat or a weasel, you know the face I'm talking about?
Well, so I think, like, if you had a transcript, the same exact transcript from Lally and Brennan, and you made them perform the exact same trial, the delivery from Brennan, I think, would be so much more irritating, and it would come off as, easier to have a hint of bad faith, where I know Lally's fallen into the mix of maybe not disclosing things he should have disclosed, but I don't think in the trial, in the courtroom, he came off as some type of, like,
pompous, arrogant jackwagon.
Yeah, like, I think the presentation in front of the jury,
yeah,
without knowing anything outside of court, like, Brennan is not going to be the most charismatic, and that's a low bar that Lally's setting.
So. That's absolutely true. Yeah, and Brennan's voice is like nails on a chalkboard for me. Definitely. Hank just but our queen in that particular trial, Dr. La Posada.
I thought you were going to say Elizabeth Little, but I love Dr. too.
Oh my gosh, when he insisted on voir diring and she spanked him, I was like, oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good.
I love a witness that can hold their own when somebody's being a butt in like questioning them.
He had used her so many times in so many other trials. And then he's going to sit there and try to act like she was doing something shady or underhanded. Give me a cotton picking break.
I love in general when a witness is like, I've typically only ever been called as an expert and testified on behalf of the state, on behalf of the government at trials. And this is like the rare exception where I'm coming over to this side, the dark side, to testify on behalf of the defendant in a case. So I actually really like to see witnesses that go to the other side and then watch the prosecutor try to act like you're not trustworthy to be called as an expert witness, even though we've called you 70 times.
Yeah. 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 And that's exactly what Hank was doing too. I was really disappointed in him and definitely grievance. Hank is on my grievance list. Judge Bev grievance list. I'm trying to think who the witnesses in Raul Valle's trial. Oh,
did you catch any ASAP Rocky? The trial?
No.
Oh my God. You would lose your mind at Loren.
Now, I do know like the whole Brian Steele and Ashley Merchant.
It's Merchant. She just says it flat out, Merchant.
Merchant. Okay. I did catch the bits and pieces of that where Steele was going to go to the clink for his client.
Oh, YSL, that was last year, but grievances for that. We could do like a 24-hour marathon and grievances from the YSL trial. That's still going on this week. So this state is still trying to fight. They had the case dismissed for civil forfeiture, Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug's property, and they're trying to fight that decision and not return the stuff that they seized through civil forfeiture. And they didn't even try to order the transcript to send it up on appeal after asking for 2 extensions because they didn't have the transcript. So what is the government's just wasting money out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wouldn't you be so angry if you lived there? Oh my gosh.
I did for a year.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Would not go back to see my brother, but that's it.
Well, what other grievances do you need to air? Because I'm going to have to bring our next guest on. And so
well, you know what? We're going to continue. we're going to continue, I'm sure, the Zachary Adams grievances all week long and maybe then some. I have this stupid little grievance. This case that I cannot get over hearing, where it was like a fentanyl case that caused the dealer in Texas. It was the first time the dealer was caused because he dealt the fentanyl with the murder of the victim that passed away from the overdose.
Okay.
And the conviction is up in the air because they only had 11 jurors. And nobody noticed.
I think I heard about this. What did they have 12 initially, and one was like deuces and bounced and never came back, and no one ever paid attention? Because there was a case with that too.
It's not clear. There's only 11, and so the question, the legal question is,
Kelly in Texas is saying they lost one. Yeah, I think it is the same case that we're talking about.
Was he ever in jeopardy?
Oh.
So does double jeopardy attach and bar a retrial?
That's a really good question.
So
the missing juror. The missing juror. Oh, maybe the missing juror came to my house.
I think it was Dallas County. So it was an interesting story, quick little story, but dang, how do we get
I'm going to
there?
have to do some research on that one too. The missing juror case. Well, I am going to thank you so much, Katt. We finally get to talk to each other.
Yes, thank you. I love to gripe and grieve.
I can't thank you enough for all of the promoting and awareness that you have given to my channel.
Well, keep going.
Absolutely. It is so appreciated by me. And so you have a choice to not do that. There are plenty of content creators that wouldn't.
I do it for me because I need you to keep going.
I totally understand. So we're in this together. All right.
Yes.
But now I'm
going. Thank you.
Have you ever met Jodene Weber?
Well, actually, I know the name.
So she is Jodene. Come on up on stage. She
Hello.
is
Hi, Katt.
former FBI agent.
You've guested on Justice Serve TV.
Maybe. Yes, I did.
There we go. That's how I know you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, Katt, thank you so much. We will be talking soon. Happy Festivus. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas as well.
You too. Take care, you both. Looking forward to listening to the rest in the chat. Bye-bye.
How are you, my dear?
Hi, Janet. Happy
Another
Festivus.
Chickadee with us. Happy Festivus.
This is delightful. I'm enjoying this so much.
You know, my chat is the one that came up with this idea that we needed to have a Festivus because we had been watching this horribly egregious behavior in a trial. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything on December 23rd. And I happen to know that that's actually Festivus. So we need to make this happen.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job. This should become an annual tradition.
It probably will be. Air your grievances, girl. What's number one on your? Oh, I know you've got the 12. Yes. That's right. Oh, go on with your bad self.
In the spirit of the 12 days of Christmas, I came up with the 12 grievances of Festivus, or at least my 12 grievances.
I love it.
Okay, so we start at number 12. I air my grievance with 12 members of Massachusetts law enforcement for their alleged or actual bias, misogyny, sexism, arrogance, insipidness, and or incompetence, as demonstrated in the Karen Reed, Sandra Birchmore, and or Brian Walshe cases. So
and don't
here
forget
are my 12
bigotry and racism as well.
Yes, I'll take those too. Yes, add those two. Okay, those are good grievances. All right, we got Sean Good with Canton PD, currently suspended. Helena Rafferty, former chief, for her conduct related to all the camera systems and what would be turned over and what wouldn't be. Kevin Albert for getting drunk and losing his weapon and his badge while on duty.
Way to be responsible. Way to be adulting, dude. Good job.
Yes. Ken Berkowitz, God rest his soul, for the Sally Port and
just because you're dead doesn't mean that you haven't done dirty deeds.
Yes, after being recused. Michael Lank for not searching the house, not separating witnesses, not bringing people back for interviews. Paul Gallagher with the leaf blower.
Oh, I was like, I know that name. How do I know that
Yes.
name?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I could. He's high on my grievance list.
Well,
That
I
guy.
don't know, Mr. The scene is talking to me.
Yes. Yes.
He's
Yes.
another one.
The scene. David DeChico.
Ooh,
Yep.
yeah. He's with the Tully Buchanan.
Yes. Nick Garino.
Oh, Guarino, yes.
Garino. Yeah.
oh,
Sandra
yeah, yeah.
Birchmore, the 30,000.
Well,
messages.
and Guarino was also part of the Bryan Walshe case too.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And with the extraction, and that could cost them an appeal. That really could. That conviction could get turned over on appeal because of that extraction.
Oh, because of the way they got their hands on it, because it was fruit of the poisonous tree.
Correct, correct. And if that is deemed to be an illegal search, all that evidence they found in that trash could be fruit of the poisonous tree. So you're talking the bloody towels, the clothes, the jewelry, all of
it.
So that could
Yeah,
be
I
really,
remember.
really.
I remember thinking at the time when Judge Frenier was trying to decide whether she was going to rule on whether that was going to be admissible or not. And at the time, I thought to myself, if she rules that it is not admissible, they're done.
They're done. Exactly.
They're done. There is no case. I don't
Correct.
know what you prosecute on then. So you're absolutely right. If that does go up on appeal, ooh.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's
bad.
really bad.
And then, of course, the top three, Brian Tully, Yuri Buchanan, and Michael Proctor.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, the trifecta there. So they're number 12 on my list of grievances.
Keep going, girl.
Okay, number 11, I air my grievance with 11 testimonial inconsistencies, irregularities, and or insipid responses by Jennifer McCabe.
Oh,
during
Jen
Karen Reed
McCabe.
trials 1 and 2. Now, I want to make a distinction here, because she likes to conflate her alleged harassment and witness intimidation with her behavior and conduct on the stand. So I just want to make clear, I don't think anyone should be harassed. If she was harassed, I don't know if she was, but if she was, that's not okay. I don't want her or children harassed. This is only her conduct while testifying.
And two things can be true at the same time.
Correct.
That could actually have happened, and she can still be really egregious on the witness stand.
Yes, correct. And that is my point. So I found 11 things she did on the stand that I have a problem with as a former FBI agent. Okay.
Get it, girl.
We're going to start with the easy ones, and then they get more and more severe. So the first one was when she said to Alan Jackson, "You can continue." I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, okay, honey, it's not your courtroom.
I was just going to say, it's her courtroom. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so never want to be snarky like that. So that was problem number 1 with Jim.
She had a big, huge problem with Alan Jackson.
Yes. Well, then when he asked her about, did you listen in to Carrie Roberts being interviewed in the next room? And she clutched her proverbial pearls and said, "I was having dinner with my children." And then he brought out those text messages where she said she's telling them everything. And I love it. Totally impeached her. So that was a problem for Jen McCabe. Then in trial number 1, when she failed to mention that they went by 34 Fairview Road before she went to Michael Lang's house the day after. That was big. And then to go in tandem with that, the next thing was her failure when she did finally testify about that, was questioned by Jackson about that. She gave different testimony than what she told Brian Tully 2 weeks earlier when she was interviewed. So her stories were completely inconsistent.
She's all over the place anyway. And
correct.
I feel like there were a lot of inconsistencies with how she testified in front of, she had to testify in front of a grand jury, did she not?
Multiple grand juries in front of the state and federal. And then, of course, we had trial 1 testimony and trial 2, which there's a lot of problems, and we're going to get to that down my list here, but her timeline was all over the map. It was much different in trial 1 than it was in trial 2. And that
big time.
And again, that plays into the Commonwealth not having a strong theory of their own case.
They didn't.
Right. So, number 5 on my list for Jen McCabe, claiming no one answered the phones at 34 Fairview Road at 6:07 and 6:08 a.m. in the morning, when phone records show someone did answer those calls, and they were several seconds long each. So
yeah, those were booty calls too.
correct,
and not the kind of booty calls.
Problem.
fun booty
Any
calls.
legitimate law enforcement officer will tell you when the phone records show a call connected, you can't say stuff like that because nobody reasonable is going to believe that. So that was problematic. Then claiming her multiple call attempts to John O'Keefe between 12:30 and 1 a.m. were butt dials. Nobody believed that either.
No.
She was looking for that phone, Janet. She was looking for that phone.
Yeah. And the temperature, I have big problems with the temperature of the phone. I got really my notes from that trial, I literally wrote down the temperature, all of the times that they said and what the temperature of the phone was. And it stabilized for several hours in the middle of the night. And that concerns me because that makes me think that it was someplace not outside.
I think it was either in the garage or in that bulkhead stairway leading down to the basement, where it's not necessarily exposed to the elements, but it's not heated either. So I think it's one or two of those situations.
Yep.
Needing to delete text messages with her daughter, Allie.
Why would you need to do that?
Exactly. I have two teens the exact same age. There's nothing on my phone I would need to delete with them before handing over my phone to
my police. Conversations with my son are usually about, well, as of late, about how poor the Detroit Lions have played. So, and what we need to do and who needs to go and who needs to stay. Yeah.
Well, not to rub salt in the wound, but I live in Pittsburgh Steeler country. So I understand.
We did it. We did it to ourselves. So I got a lot of grievances with my Detroit Lions. Biggest disappointment of 2025 for me, my Detroit Lions. So
not mentioning in trial number 1 that you did call over to 34 Fairview Road at 5:07 a.m. and spoke with someone for 38 seconds, like the phone records show. Because that was a big bombshell when that came out in trial 2.
Yes.
There was that call before they drove over there. 38 seconds. You can say a lot of things in 38
people
seconds.
Don't realize how long 38 seconds is when you're speaking. So it's an eternity.
It's a long time. Like try holding your breath for 38 seconds. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Yes.
Right. No record of her ever testifying or reporting to law enforcement that she heard Karen Reed say, I hit him, until after her alleged 2:27 a.m. Google search became publicly known in a pretrial hearing.
Very kawinky dinky.
Yes. All her pretrial testimony at different grand juries and all her interviews to law enforcement, that never came up until her name started to get on the map for that Google search. And then all of a sudden she's saying, Karen said, I hit him.
Mm-hmm. I think that was debunked in the second, in season 2, that is not what anybody heard.
Correct. Her wildly evolving timeline of events about what she saw and how many times she saw Karen's vehicle outside. Trial 1 didn't match trial 2, and truth doesn't change.
No.
It should be consistent in both trials. And the fact it's not is a problem.
Absolutely.
And then finally, lying to the FBI by claiming she was Nicole, and by saying within that 10-minute window, she had only talked to 2 people when she had actually talked to 5 people, to include Brian Albert and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, all while
just
having
wanted to
her
brush
cell
her
phone
teeth
with her call log in her hand.
Yes. And she just wanted to brush her teeth.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of problems with Jen McCabe. So she's my grievance number 11. So
she's just a normal mom.
Yes.
She's just a normal mom.
Just a soccer mom, the room mom. Yes. I air my grievances about 10 evidence processing or collection mistakes into the investigation into John O'Keefe. So my 10 are red Solo cups.
Stop and Shop eggs.
Stop and Shop eggs is number 9. The leaf blower. Not securing the scene. And
At all.
At all. Not searching 34 Fairview Road. Not photographing the taillight before towing Karen Reed's car from her parents' residence. The glass on the bumper not matching the cocktail glass on the lawn or any glass.
Anything else.
Or anything else. Correct.
Yeah.
The mystery
Oopsie.
glass. Not securing the evidence in the evidence room and not having proper chains of custody for your evidence. That was a big problem.
Yeah, there was no
Number
chain of custody.
2, the inverted Sally Port video.
Uh-huh.
And then finally, the missing videos from the Sally Port, the Canton Library, and John O'Keefe's ring system. The fact that we had 3 different separate distinct video systems, all with crucial time periods missing video, to me, that was the probable cause that predicated the federal investigation.
Well, and the other thing too that isn't on your list, and I really would love to know what it actually shows, all of the neighbors' security cameras, because
Yes.
you know there was footage. In this day and
Absolutely.
age, there is footage.
You would
And-
see a car driving by, you
Yep.
could see pedestrian traffic, you
Yep.
could potentially hear an impact, you could hear vocally.
But they didn't
audio,
want to have
you know,
any of
people
that video
talking.
out because
Correct.
that video was going to show them dragging his tail out to the flagpole.
Yeah.
From
So
the house.
that's very interesting. I agree with that. So then number 9, my grievance is during the 9th month of this year, Judge Kathleen McCarthy Naiman put Kelsey Fitzsimmons back in jail instead of simply giving her another option for alcohol testing. So
was
that
awful.
thankfully we got a Christmas miracle today and
Oh.
that Kelsey's going home.
It was like a Festivus miracle.
Yes, a Festivus miracle. Number 8, my grievance with 8 Commonwealth witnesses who contradicted each other about whether Brian Higgins' Jeep was parked at the mailbox
Oh, yes.
at 34 Fairview Road, because we had Brian
Everybody
Albert, Nicole, Brian Higgins, Jen McCabe, and Matt McCabe, who all say, yes, the Jeep was there at the mailbox. And then
Yeah.
we had Heather Maxim, Ryan Nagel, and Ricky D'Antonio, who say it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So the Commonwealth couldn't get their act together on their own witnesses.
Nope.
Which should have been reasonable doubt right there for trial number 1 for the
Oh,
jury.
absolutely. But
Right.
the trial number 1, the jury was a lot like this jury that we've watched with the Zachary Adams case.
Yes.
They wanted it to be them to be bonked on the head with what they were supposed to do instead of actually looking at the evidence and deliberating and using critical thinking.
Right, right. Number 7, my grievance with Rex Heuermann for allegedly murdering 7 women: Amber Costello, Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Jessica Taylor, Valerie Mack, and Sandra Costilla. 7 women who were daughters, sisters, mothers, friends who had value as human beings.
Absolutely.
So that is one of the big cases I'll be watching in 2026 is when and if Rex Heuermann goes to trial.
And I don't cover serial killer cases at all. So
Oh, you
that
don't? Okay.
I don't. I just, this is going to sound awful. I don't find them intriguing at all. I just don't. It's not interesting to me. I am more like the Christopher Watts kind of cases where
Okay.
like, oh, he's the perfect husband. And then poof, all of a sudden he's not the
The
perfect
dark side
husband.
comes out.
Like
Right.
I'm fascinated with someone walking through life and like being perfectly normal. And then all of a sudden, unknown to everybody else, is this completely diabolical side. That is intriguing to me more than, because I've had a lot of people ask me this about serial. Well, you like all this, Janet, you like serial killers. I'm like, I really don't. No, I don't care about Bundy or, Dahmer or
Yeah.
Gacy or any of that. It's just not my thing. So that's good that you're going to be covering it because I'll
be
send
covering it,
everybody
yes.
over to you.
Okay. Number 6, zombie apocalypse murderer Lori Vallow Daybell for conspiring to kill 6 people, her children, JJ Vallow, Tylee Ryan, Tammy Daybell, Charles Vallow, Brandon Boudreaux, and I am going to add Alex Cox because the judge said to Lori Vallow Daybell, I think you killed your brother. And I agree with the judge.
I think everybody thinks that. And that makes me think of some grievances. Sarah Boone.
Yes.
That woman having to go through all those attorneys and everything. Talk about a grievance. I got all kinds of grievances about Sarah Boone.
That's an abuse of the legal system when you're constantly just firing your attorneys.
She is crazy. Sarah Boone is crazy.
I agree.
Anyway, continue.
Number 5. My grievance that 5 people conspired to kill Dan Markel and possibly more people. We've got 5 convicted, but I think there could be more coming. We'll see.
I hope so. I know people ask me a lot whether I think Wendi or
the dad.
I can't think of his name right now.
Donna and Harvey.
Harvey, thank you. And I believe, I don't think they're done. I don't think that Georgia is done.
I don't either. That's one thing I'm really going to be watching for in 2026 is, will Wendi Adelson be indicted?
Yep.
Number 4, my grievance that 4 medical doctors, to include Dr. Irene Scordi-Bello, Dr. Marie Russell, Dr. Frank Sheridan, and Dr. Elizabeth La Posada, heard you just mention her.
Love her.
All said John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. And yet there are still people who say John O'Keefe was hit by a car. I mean, you had doctors on both the Commonwealth and the defense side saying he did not display injuries consistent with the vehicular
Well, we had
strike.
accident reconstructionists too, not Blue Man Group, but the other ones.
Oh, my crush, my trial crush is Andrew Rentschler. He was fantastic.
Oh, when he was like, I don't know what kind of sandwich I had. I guess it was a ham sandwich.
Exactly.
Love it.
So that just bothered me. Okay, number 3, my grievance that no one has been held accountable for the 3 missing video clips in the Karen Reed case from the Sally Port, from the library, and from the Ring camera system.
Do you think that's going to come out in the civil trial? Do you think that will finally be discovered?
We'll have more information from the feds on that, because I truly believe that was really heavily investigated by the FBI.
Yeah. I think so too.
Number 2, I air my grievance that Karen Reed was prosecuted twice.
Yes.
Based upon all the ineptitude by law enforcement, the bias, the evidence problems with the case, and the ever-evolving Commonwealth theory. The Commonwealth didn't even know what their own theory of the case was.
No. And the judge, they specifically asked for a very clear verdict slip, and she insisted what they had was sufficient, because this is Mr. Jackson. This is how we do it in Massachusetts.
Yeah. And I feel so bad for the taxpayers there.
I do
all
too.
that money to Aperture and to Hank Brennan. And I mean, that is just, to me, that's fraud against the taxpayers to me.
Yeah. I would have a really, really difficult time if I lived there. I would become very, very vocal about a lot of things. That whole case and everything around it is enraging.
I agree. And my number 1 grievance for Festivus 2025, the ongoing alienation committed by the Adelson family against the Markel family and their deliberate withholding of those 2 boys from Dan Markel's parents, sister, cousins, and extended family. That alienation, just, to me, that is so sick and just unconscionable.
Yeah. I'm happy that Donna's going to have a lot of carbs for the rest of her life, since that appears to be something that she's very concerned with while being incarcerated.
Yes.
I am not going to lie that I sat on my channel when they were transporting her after the guilty verdict, and and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. That was fantastic. Absolutely. Some of the best video I've watched.
Well, and you know, when you think about the alienation and her, you know, wanting to dress those boys up in the Nazi clothing, and I mean, really, is murder that much more of a stretch if you're that diabolical to begin with? And it's and these people who got up and testified for her, like, oh, she's lovely, she's wonderful. I don't know.
Let me tell you.
Talk about having a dark side, Janet. She had the dark
Well,
side.
you know, that's why I was there.
Yeah.
Because that was a trial that I went to. And I was there the day that Wendi testified, and I was there the day her brother, Rob, testified.
See, to me, he was the hero of that trial.
Oh my goodness. You could literally feel the heaviness from his testimony. It was so heartbreaking. I was also there the day that the jailhouse snitches testified.
Okay.
And we listened to the phone call that Donna didn't know was being recorded.
Right.
And I'm so glad I was there for that. That jury was riveted. They were like,
I think that would be the most fascinating thing, to sit there and watch how a jury reacts.
It was, because there were a couple times early on, because I only went 2 days. I went there that Monday of that week, and I went on Friday of that week. And on Monday of that week is there was testimony coming in about custody issues and things that Donna was suggesting, some email communication between her and Wendi, because of course Wendi testified that day. Right. And you could see the men on the jury. I'm like, I don't know anything about their backgrounds, but I can tell you, I have a strong suspicion they have some experience in divorce or custody battles or something like that, because they would see on this, the way the jury box was set up is they had several TVs so that you didn't have to look up. It was, you could see it closely. And then there were ones, a large screen, and then several other screens for the gallery and such. And you would see them looking at the screen, reading, and then they'd look at Donna. And then they'd look back at the screen.
Yeah.
And they'd look at Donna like, you wrote this? The foul language and everything, you, sweet little old lady sitting there
in the cardigan.
This.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, it was fantastic, phenomenal, breathtaking to be there and see that reaction. And then of course, when the recording was played, the phone recording, and that they didn't know they were being recorded. And you see the jury just like, because they can't react, but you can tell they're like, they want to do one of these.
Yeah.
Because that was bad. That testimony was really bad.
Absolutely. And I also think that phone call between her and Charlie, where Charlie is saying Wendi just couldn't help herself. She had to drive by. Now that to me is very incriminating.
See, and it's interesting you bring that up, because that is one of the things that I have looked at as a tell for why I think they may end up going after Wendi still.
I think that
the final witness on one of the days that I was there, I think it may have been that Friday when I was there, the final witness was the guy stating that he recognized Wendi's minivan because he owned the exact same minivan.
Yeah,
and he knew it was her. That had never come up in any testimony in any of the prior trials. And that was like little breadcrumb that I went, oh.
Well, and a lot of people that live in Tallahassee have said that route she took is completely
doesn't make any sense.
Nonsense. Right.
Completely
nonsense.
Out of the way. Totally out of the way.
And I also think Donna having that license plate number in her 2014 planner, she got that from Wendi.
Yes.
She got that from Wendi.
Yep.
So yeah,
I don't think we're done.
My money's on Georgia. Georgia's not going to just let Wendi hang out there in the breeze. I think she's going to go for Georgia. I really do.
I think that Wendi will be the next one. I don't know that Harvey will be alive. Although I'll tell you, I watched Surviving the Survivor podcast when they had Drina on.
Yes.
She was one of the jailhouse snitches, so to speak. And she definitely made it seem like Harvey was by far the more dangerous of all of the parties.
Well, you know, I picked up
of
on
him.
when they arrested Donna at the airport, once she crossed over the threshold to board the plane. If you watch his behavior while she's being arrested, I'm like, he's more diabolical than than people have called him out for being. And don't forget, he was there at the pool with her and Charlie. Yeah, out at the outside where
had that weird conversation in the restaurant or whatever. That was just Harvey and Charlie.
Yes.
So yeah, I believe Drina, and Drina she's very, very careful about what she says because she's still afraid that something.
I don't blame her.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. Yeah,
that something could happen to her. So she's been very, very careful about what she's disclosed. And if anybody out there wants to send a flag up for Nurse Kim. Because I'm expecting her any minute now. And I know how Nurse Kim rolls with being on time. So in the meantime, we can continue talking about our grievances.
You know, another grievance I have is the people who are still pro Bryan Kohberger, even though he has pled. That just shocks me. He has admitted guilt. Let's move on, everybody. Let's move on.
Well, and he even looks like an absolute psychotic serial killer. Just looking at him. He's no Ted Bundy with any kind of charisma or any. Look at Bryan Kohberger and you're like, ooh, you ain't right. Like, you really ain't right.
Well, and you look at the problems that were reported by students, by fellow staff within 2.5, 3 weeks of him being at the WSU campus. And as I told my subscribers to my podcast, think about when someone kind of rubs you the wrong way. You don't really complain to your boss or to your superior on the first or second time. It takes a few infractions or a few times to really get your ire up to the point where you're like, all right, I got to say something because this is ridiculous.
Well,
and
the
fact that all
factor.
These people within 2 to 3 weeks are seeking help. Like, we got to do something about this guy.
Yeah.
That just shows the extreme nature of how bad he was.
Oh, he's gross. And I do, Jody, have you ever met Nurse Kim?
No, I would love to, though.
Well, you're going to meet Nurse Kim now. I see her backstage waiting so patiently before I bring her on. Thank you so much, Jody, again for coming on my channel. We'll do it again because if anything happens with the David case, you know that we're going to hook up again because we've talked about that. And I'm curious with Anna Kepner. That's kind of still unfolding too. So we'll be hooking up again.
Sounds good. It was great to meet you in 2025. One of the great blessings of 2025. Thank you for inviting me tonight.
Happy Festivus and have a very Merry Christmas. And right now, stay on because I'm going to bring Nurse Kim on with us. Ta-da!
Hello.
Heidi ho, chickadee. How are ya?
I'm amazing, Misdemeanor. How are you today?
We're doing fantastic. I wanted you to meet the fantastic Jody Weber. She is a former FBI agent that I have had on my show in the past. We talk a lot of crime. So she's
and I'm a big fan of yours, Nurse Kim.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I got to put myself make it go away. I can't even put me the baby Kim. I got to have little Kimmy right there. Stop it. Oh my gosh, that is so
Yes.
incredible. You being an FBI, like, my gosh, I'm just a silly little nurse. So I'm so
well, no,
thrilled
but
to meet you.
I started watching you at the beginning of Kieran Reed because you gave a lot of great medical information about
Thank you.
hypothermia and what kind of what exposure would be and where his body temperature would be. And that was important information. So
Oh,
I'm going to bug
gosh.
out, but thank you, Janet. And nice to meet you.
Thank
Karen.
you, Jody, so much.
you.
Have a
Nice
Merry
to meet you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Festivus.
Yes.
Happy Festivus.
Oh,
All righty.
Mr.
It's been a long time.
It has.
Like
Let me
crap's
say-
gone down.
Oh my God. Oh, is she in a dumpster fire? She sure is, Misdemeanor, but I am.
Well, that's why we're
loving
gonna
you.
get up in here and air some doggone grievances. We are.
Absolutely. You look beautiful. I just wanted to say that I'm obsessed. Look
thank
at you in a red rhinestone. What are we like?
It's
Just
just
bringing
glittery.
me all the feels.
It's just I like my bling, I wore bling to court. Remember, everybody was like, I can't believe she'd wear sequins into a courtroom. Honey, I wear sequins wherever I feel like wearing sequins. So
As one should.
right. I had someone in my chat yesterday that said, are you Mrs. Doubtfire's sister? And I said, sir, I'm not Mrs. Doubtfire's sister because I am way cooler than Mrs. Doubtfire. And then they became a fan. So
Sometimes you just got to give them a little sass. And if anybody, you have the sass that all the lasses loved, the lads and the lasses. You just bring everybody a little, but also with kindness, right? You get a sass them with kindness.
I always try to be kind, and because it's not that big a deal to be kind. I don't understand. One of my grievances is all the hate speech, and I say hate speech. It's just spewing of stuff that I've seen in the past few months, and I ignore it if it comes at me because I'm just like, yeah, I don't do drama, y'all. And there's a reason I don't do drama. I'm a Scorpio, so I have a lot of vengeance in me. And so if I were to unleash this bad boy, it would not be good.
Wouldn't be good for anyone.
It would not be good for other people. I'd probably make it out just fine.
But it's not good for our spirit, right? Like that's how I always
Correct.
feel, is that I don't like to either, unfortunately. Been a little muddy. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, it's been a little muddy.
I feel like I have to bathe sometimes after I've read some
Yeah.
things on the Twix,
Yeah.
and that's not good. So yeah, my grievance is stop being so daggum ugly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants ugly.
Yeah.
They
And,
all
like,
know I'm
listen,
here.
Yeah, you could be as pretty as you are, like there's a lot of lovely people, okay? Sometimes it's only exterior deep, okay? And what we want to do is have pretty insides, because
Yes.
if your outsides are pretty, no one gives a crap, okay? So try to have a nice heart, okay? And that is what matters. And it's just like, I feel like as women specifically, I've tiptoed around male egos in this space for as long as I've been in this space. And for and I've danced it like as a nurse, because you have doctors and that's just, it's life and how I grew up even. But I always would hope that as women that we can sometimes rise above and do a little bit better and show a way. And hopefully maybe that's our 2026, not you, because you're an angel, but I'm just saying, like, in the mud,
Well,
for those of us who have been in the mud, try to rise above.
everybody needs to fix the other girl's crown. It's okay. And I have to say, one of my grievances for 2025
Mhm.
is these stinking female judges that are making nice, good, upstanding, powerful women like yourself and myself look bad.
Yes.
I got issues with this.
I was
got big
enraged.
issues.
Yes, I was. Well, Judge Cannoni for sure. Okay.
But then that Kelsey Fitzsimmons judge.
Today, that's exact. Oh, what are
Oh,
we
I don't-
doing, Misdemeanor? Did you
I don't
see
like
her?
Saw her
Did you
today.
see her
She was
today?
like a completely different person today.
Who's that? I don't know who that was.
It's like she took her meds.
Oh,
She was like,
she might have had
"Oh."
a Werther's original. I don't know. Something happened. She had something in her pocket.
Maybe she was in the
And
middle of a hot flash for the last hearing. And
maybe.
as someone that has those, I can tell you it's really enraging. So
Yeah.
I don't know. She was a
Yeah.
completely different person today.
She sure was. And also, I thought it was a little bit sly of her to protect that record. Do you know the way that she did? Being
Well-
like, oh, I gave you these options for 3 months. You could have come back here. Oh, ma'am, how are we doing revisionist history? Because I remember, okay, I have a little elephant memory misdemeanor. And I know darn right well, that Attorney Bradel had provided that medical information and that addendum for a medical necessity the day after she was remanded on September 11th. So that's all Fibber Magoo stuff, okay? And
I
you
think she
tried
had
to make it happen.
She had a fart sideways that day.
Oh.
And so because she came on hot. I mean, right out of the gate, she was hot.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, I have a little grievance with, and I know in the chat they've told me that Kelsey was involved and made the decision. If that's the case, that's fantastic. But if the decision was up to Bradel and his team alone to not try to get Kelsey out before Thanksgiving, if she literally was able to use the scram at that time, that's awful because she's been in there for a month that she didn't need to be.
Yes.
Who gives a rip about a stupid appeal? And I was, Defense Diaries and the Glare were on earlier, and I put in the chat that I felt a little bit like the appeal and hanging on to that was a little bit of a pissing match,
Oh, amen. And I agree
that.
if that's it. But if Kelsey was like, hey, I'm because that was already docketed, perhaps she was like, if I get in front of the panel, right, that it would have happened, perhaps, but then it gets denied yesterday. And today was really a Hail Mary, right? And it was able to be that expedited hearing. But I was absolutely hit my knees praying last night for Kelsey Fitzsimmons, and I was beyond.
Yeah, I had a live stream last night. We were covering another case, someone else who is behind bars and is innocent and shouldn't be behind bars. And so we were talking about that. And at the end of it, I said, everybody, please pray, sage, cross your fingers, toes, do your chants, rub your rabbit's feet, whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah.
For tomorrow, because I really wanted her to be able to go home and get in the bathtub and take a nice long hot soak.
I know, babe.
With some foofy bubbles,
That's so funny. When I was streaming earlier, I did a live at 5:40. It was supposed to be a live at 5:25. It was a live at 5:45.
Yeah, I know. I watched part of it.
Yeah. And I was, I love you. And I was just saying, like, I hope that she was like in my brain, like, I'm a little odd. So I was like, maybe she's sitting on her couch in a Snuggie, and she's got she's got a nice hot cocoa and she got a little marshmallows and she's looking at the TV and she's like processing because like, imagine 103 days of your life that you are not healing in an appropriate manner, in my opinion, because your mental health, your mental health, your physical health, and the trauma of everything that you have been through has culminated, and you have been incarcerated, like for asking a question.
Yes.
Instead of denying, you were thrown. Like you could have. I call her Judge Kathleen. She should have just denied the request because Kelsey never missed or violated
she didn't need to be taken.
Probation.
Yeah, she didn't need to be taken into custody at all.
Correct.
It was complete ridiculousness. And it's funny that you say that because that was one of the things Bob Mata was saying when I was watching earlier today. He goes, I hope she goes home and gets her favorite blanket. And if she's got a dog, that she cuddles up with their dog. And like, he's going through the whole thing. He's like, because people don't realize. And of course he does. He's a defense attorney. So he knows what his clients have gone through when they've been wrongly convicted and then they are exonerated. And those little luxuries in life, getting your McDonald's hash browns or, sitting in your favorite chair,
Yeah.
taking a bath, those kinds of things, yeah, they become really super important. And I just hope that she's going to be able to move past this. She's still not able to see her child, which really torques me off on like a big level. But I got a lot of grievances, man, between Zach Adams and this craziness going here. I'm pissed.
Yeah. Listen, get it out. We got to get it out. And then we're rising.
That's what Festivus is for.
We're rising from I said that I keep saying like, hey, lovies, we're going to all rise from the ashes like a phoenix in 2026. But I'm going to let it all friggin' burn. Okay. For the rest, go ahead. Let it burn.
What the heck happened at the end of 2025? Like, I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I like to think that I was thinking I need someone who is like a planetary alignment human that like
you need Lady Zelda.
Well,
do you not know Lady Zelda?
No, I do, but I'm saying, but Lady Zelda didn't tell me dumpster fire, Kim. Run away. Run away.
Well, I could have told you that. You should have called me. You weren't checking your messages. I've told you before about checking your messages. Now, honest to Pete, you know better. Kim, we've had this discussion. You know better.
The messages. I did. I got better. I got better. Listen. She's able to take criticism. Yep.
You're trainable and coachable. I'll hire you. I work in management. I'll hire you. And you were talking before about having to navigate through big personalities and men and egos and things like that. And, I was a young chickadee at one point, and I worked in the automotive industry.
Oh.
And working in the automotive industry, you're
tangoing. Tangoing with male ego.
And then I left that industry and I worked in consumer finance for a long period of time. And it was heavily, heavily, heavily male dominated. And in fact, I had been promoted at one point in the company that I worked for. I was the first female to ever hold that position. So every time I went to any district meetings or anything like that, it was all men. And all of the women in the company, they're like, yeah, go Janet, because nobody had held that position before. They had kept all the women down. So it is hard. I married a New Yorker because, that's what happens when you've got some moxie that you carry around with you. I feel like sometimes I have to have an extra bag just for carrying my moxie.
Listen, I have Diet Cokes that I'm carrying extra bags for, but I'll carry a Moxie. I'll carry some DC. I'll carry it all. Okay.
We joke all the time because when I have my Wine and Crime Wednesday, we watched a replay of a trial earlier, and a big part of alcohol, like White Claw is the alcohol of the Karen Reed trial.
Yes.
The alcohol of this particular trial was kinky vodka. And so we talk a lot in my chat about the kinky vodka. I
tend to get kinky on tequila, but kinky vodka, I like that too. I'll do it all. Let's brand. We're branding.
I was like in the middle of the trial, and they said that. I'm like, what the heck is he talking about? He's like 19. What is he talking about?
I've never even heard of that. Well, listen, this shows my age, right? Is that like like these brands I don't even know. I stick with Tito's, which also may have been the brand of Karen Reed trial too. But there is different things that the young people, I'm like, I'm more disconnected from the youth every year. And I'm like, I don't know, 6, 7, my house, I go, okay, I'm just trying to
I'm
stay
so glad.
afloat.
Hey, at least you have the 6, 7. My son, you know what the big thing was when instead of 6, 7, when he was that age?
What?
D's nuts. So literally, hey mama, you know why they didn't want to cross that street in front of that car there? Nobody. Why? D's nuts. I I heard D's nuts for about 2 years. I thought I was going to lose my mind. So I'll take the 6'7". I'll take the 6'7". I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I don't know the age of your son, but that is hilarious because I know that like when everyone was suck it, when like there was like X, there was it was whatever with like wrestling at the time, and it was these like Bret Michaels, and they had, I don't know, whatever, they were a team, and they'd be like suck it, and they would do all this, and all the boys in middle school, and like then like we'd be like, suck it, and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, what a world, what a time to be alive. 6'7" does seem a little tame now.
Way better than D's nuts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my son is 24, so this was probably 10, 11, 12 years ago in that neighborhood. But yeah, be thankful you're doing the 6'7".
We're 6'7" and all over town.
And we can air some grievances about that. Are you past the elf on the shelf?
Yeah, babe,
phase?
I'm fully into a Snoop on a stoop.
What the heck is that?
Hi, this is Snoop.
Oh,
Actually,
hey.
Snoop. He's waiting for Martha. He's here. He goes, I put him, as soon as the girls turned 12, I said, yeah, I'm not moving anything. Okay, babe, I'm not moving a thing. So Snoop just comes out. He wears a Tito's vodka top, and he thinks to himself, how you doing? Right? Like he's not asking for much. He says, put me out and just let me know when the goodies are available. He's also looking for some kind of baked treat at any time.
Well,
Because he's gonna, yeah. I'm in Thickum season. Thickum season.
Well, I mean, baked treats can take on a whole lot of meanings. So we're not necessarily talking about pastries here, if you know what I mean. So just keeping it real.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. I do.
Yeah,
I can put that together now. Yep.
I am so happy I never had to do the elf on the shelf face.
Oh, yeah.
I would lose. We had Saint Nick because of the German heritage. And so Saint Nick is a big thing. So we had to do that. Saint Nick, you put your slipper out by outside your bedroom door.
Okay.
And every night you get either treats or coal, depending on your behavior for the day. And so that daggum slipper just about was the death of me and Mr. Demeanor. I'm telling you. There'd be times 3 o'clock in the morning. Saint Nick. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was huge. That was huge.
It was just like never
All the
ending.
things. Yeah. No, and it never ends. And that is the thing is, I think as parents, remember that for us, I know that the elf on the shelf had come. My girls are 15 and 16 now. But when, you know, they were little, the elf just came out, and that was exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. I would panic. Luckily, I was up so early that like I would be able to like, I forgot, you know, before the girls. But like, why were we putting ourselves? And all I did was move the thing. Now I go onto social media. You want to talk about parents? They've got the elf on the shelf and the girl, and they're like at strip clubs, and they're throwing money everywhere, and they've got them skating and doing doing wild things.
I saw one where they had them strapped in the front seat of a car, and the car was crashed into their garbage cans in their front yard. And I'm like, oh no, you are committed to this.
Yeah.
Or maybe
yeah.
you need to be committed, one of the two, but
you need to be committed. You need to be committed. Stop making me feel like I suck at life because you're out here doing entire skits. In what world? I can barely, my list, I have grievances, okay? Here's
what I'm girl, this is the time.
Let's do it. What I'm not doing in 2026 is I'm not going to stay up into the middle of the night and look at my ceiling, look at a crack, and say something along the lines of, if I go to sleep right now, I will have 4 hours and 57 minutes left to sleep, right? To close my eyes. Because why, Ms. Demeanor? I'm on loop with the list that never gets shorter.
You have to write it down.
Well, no, but I do. I know it. I see it. I have anxiety about it.
You write it down and then you share it with the people in your household and you go, yeah, you want what? There it is down there. I'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to try to figure out how to do that on your own.
Figure it out. Figure it out. The year of 2026 is going to be the year of everybody becoming self-sufficient, because mom is, you know what mom's going to do? A little something for mom. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you say that because I just had this conversation with my sister-in-law, and she had told me years ago that she sat her family down and she said, I will no longer do for you what you can do for yourself. If you are
Hot.
capable of handling it for yourself, then you need to do it for yourself.
I'm obsessed.
So I have a little of that going on in my life. I'm not going to lie right now that I'm like, you need to adult better. Sorry
Yes.
for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Like Google it, get a YouTube video. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm tapped.
I'm tapped. You know what? And also, misdemeanor, I'm tapping out. Okay. So suck it. And mom's out. Okay. Because I am like, I love you so much. But also figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it
Because
out.
you're going to make me crazy if you don't figure it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A big grievance about that. I completely understand.
Love it.
I am absolutely on board.
Perfect.
So I have to ask, because I've given this a lot of thought,
Yeah.
because 2025 went off the rails at the end of the year. And it feels like I sat here in my house and
Mhm.
everybody went to the Wilbur and everybody got to hang out together and meet each other and do pictures. And I was like, oh, wah, wah, wah. I'm stuck here. And then what the heck has happened? Was something fed to people there? Did you all take some sort of drugs? Did you drink something?
It was the fluoride. I'm going to
Was
blame
it
the
the
government.
fluoride? Dadgummit, the fluoride.
The fluoride got us all. Okay.
It's so weird to witness and watch that.
Yeah.
And, I'm not in it. I don't know these people. Thankfully, I want no part of any of it. I'm just curious. Like, I have opinions. Trust me, I have a lot of opinions. But it is baffling to me. That's the word.
Yeah.
Baffling to me to observe Crazy Town.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there. I live in it. I am
What
also.
happened?
Yeah. Well, okay. So we don't have a 5-hour stream here to do. So it is.
Well, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we'll do a bridge. We'll do a Cliff's Notes version of it. Is I think that there were personal issues and grievances that were not aired out.
They needed to be here for Festivus.
They needed to have a Festivus, and this goes for multiple people. And unfortunately, when those personal grievances then became public grievances, it dragged in a lot of different people, and then those people started reacting, and as one does, including myself, is you're reacting to something
it doesn't deserve your energy,
out of a place that but also I think that because we all did know each other and we did have respect for each other at one point. And that's where it was different, because when you get hate online, that's hate online. When people accuse you of things online, I don't give one shit about what any idiot has to say. But when I know you, it's different, right? It feels a little different. And then it was fractures and it was sides and it was ugly. And I contributed I contributed to it, but I really, I regret a lot of things, because at the end of the day, I always support Karen. I'm going to support her civil suits. I support Aiden. I could be pissed at Aiden at times, and I still always support his criminal cases and things because he is not guilty. He is innocent of those things. And you can have disagreements or you can be pissed at people and then you can move on. And that's normal. It's abnormal for us to sit here and pretend like everything was going to be sunshine and lollipops and that we were going to, just want to have, kitten parties all the time and just think it was perfect. It's not that. You have multiple big personalities, a lot of great ideas, but the fundamentals of us was always fighting corruption, seeing and having the same goal of
that got
justice.
lost.
It was justice, and that was the primary focus, not the people that are attached to it. And
As an
shame on us all.
as an outsider watching it kind of unfold and being very sad about it because I don't know, I maybe it's my age, but I just was like, what is going on? It seemed there seemed to be almost no impulse control.
Yeah. Well,
And
you said
so
it.
it was just I mean, one right after another. And that's really hard to watch. But one of the main themes that I can look at and see through a lot of this is ego.
Amen.
The devil is in all the egos
Yes.
that exist. And once you start looking at things and think you are more important than whatever it is you're working on or toward, you need to get out.
Truth.
And it has nothing to do with whether I like people or don't like people or follow them or don't follow them. I just want everybody to listen to the end of my live streams where I tell everyone it doesn't cost a penny to be kind. So find someone to do something nice for today if you haven't already. It's literally that simple. I don't know why, other than when I see that behavior, it makes me think these individuals are very insecure in their lives and that there is something missing. Because if you have a fulfilling life, like myself, I don't need any of that.
No.
If you don't like what I have on my channel, don't freaking come. It's cool. You got lots of choices out there. I say all the time, I'm ever so thankful for anybody that comes on my channel as a guest or in my chat, because you do have other choices.
Yeah.
So it is, I don't like the sides being picked. You know, I was going to be a part of a fundraiser and I bowed out of it because it was looking like I was going to have to pick a side. And at the end of the day, that's just not my content.
Yeah.
I just don't do fundraisers. I don't do, activism and things like that. I just don't. I cover cases.
Yep.
I want to get as much sunlight as I can. And you all talk about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I'm telling you, Zach Adams in Tennessee needs all the light shown on him as can possibly happen. There are hearings that take place next week. He needs to be freed. He is an innocent man that is behind bars. That is what I am here for. I want to educate everyone. I'm the foreman of the jury. All of the people in my chat are my jurors. All my chickadees are my jurors. And we want to make sure if people are being unjustly treated, that we do something. We can do something about it. We have a voice.
Yes, we do.
That was one of the things, interestingly enough, shortly after I started doing my live streams, I remember sitting down with Mr. Demeanor and I said, it's so funny to me. I have a completely different take and perspective on people that I see on TV, commentators, whatever, because I think sometimes it's lost, and it's definitely been lost in the past few months. There's a great responsibility for what we say on these channels. And I understand that when I come on here and do my live streams, that I have a responsibility to be respectful and to not just lie or be lazy about my content. There's a responsibility. You have to pay attention to what you're saying. You have to pay attention to what you're supporting.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think that I don't know that everybody in content creation world really gets that there is an expectation that your voice matters.
And it's amplified. And that's why it matters.
Yes, exactly. And it's always tea time. I see that you said we need to get you monetized. It's pending. My application is in. I'm just waiting.
Yay!
So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been, a little bit of a long haul. I feel like well, my original like chart when I planned it out, I thought mid-February. And so I'm ahead of schedule. So that's
You're
good.
2 months ahead of schedule.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. And I have some good things that I'm going to do for members only when that actually comes
Yes.
about. So yes, thank you very much. It's always tea time. But yes, this space, I feel like some of our purpose has been lost.
We'll find it. It's there. It's like to look, here's how I feel personally is that sometimes you can get a little lost on the path, but as long as you can find the path and you know what's in your heart and you know what you came for and what you believe in. I always say to my lovies is like, we have to stand for something or we'll fall for anything. And it is so important that when I look at the bigger picture, and it's always been the bigger picture, is that like, that's why when you're saying when we put that light on what happened in the dark, like that's what I want to do. I want to cover the cases that I want to, that I feel passionately about, that I feel a connection to in some way, whether it's just that this person is falsely accused, or if it's a medical component of like, a postpartum depression, or, or a Karen who did not factually strike Officer John O'Keefe with her Lexus vehicle. These are things that matter and profoundly matter, and they matter in the Commonwealth, they matter in our country, and that is where the path needs to, I hope, bring us back.
Yeah, I see some inroads being made recently, so so that's encouraging to me. And you're right. My logo that I have is the scales of justice with a magnifying glass over it, because that is exactly what I want to continue doing on my channel, is to put a magnifying glass on our judicial system. We've got to keep everybody honest. And so if you don't know why you have a YouTube channel, other than you're like, hey man, I just want to make some money and hang out in that, I feel like you've lost.
Yeah. You lost the plot.
You lost the plot. And I'm sad for you, but and if your choice is you just want to sit and talk about drama, well, then that's not going to last very long. And I'll tell you, there are a few people that I highly, highly respected coming into my own content creation and my own channel that I don't respect at all. And to me, that is probably the biggest slap in the face than anything else that someone could do, is if someone said they didn't respect me anymore. You can dislike me and I'm fine with that. You can call me names and I'm fine with that. But to say that you don't respect me anymore, that would hurt. That would definitely hurt. And there have been some people that I've just looked and I'm like, who is this person? What happened? What is going on?
Yeah. And you don't know. And see, it's like also those stressful times, I do say, like, just also remember that everyone's human, and and try to, maybe if we can, and all this, everything that is being said is also applicable to me, that like just have grace for one another and like look at it as, just maybe try. And like, if everyone is trying, and if we can all get to that point of like accountability, just where it needed to be, I got in the mud, I needed to get out of the mud, and it doesn't matter, if you're the cleanest one in the mud, you're still dirty, and then you don't want that, and it doesn't feel good, and it makes personally, for me, some people thrive in the shits misdemeanor. That's what they're
I do not. That's what their comfort level is.
I do not. Nope.
I don't either.
Eject. Eject immediately.
I get itchy.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
itchy, and then I get Harvey, and I can't. That's why I very, very quickly, if I see that it's coming, I have, triggers from my childhood. I have a sibling that is very, very triggering, and thank goodness I do not have to deal with her anymore. I haven't had to deal with her in 23 years. So it's wonderful. But I will come across people that have a lot of those same traits,
Mm-hmm.
and it immediately triggers me and takes me to that time. And in my chat, they know, my regular followers, because we were watching what we call Bad Jennifer. We've now named her the Penguin because of the way she waddles when she walks. And she is just a despicable, rancid human being. And she's a judge now in Tennessee, but she was a prosecuting attorney in the trial that we were watching. And seeing her behavior, I was like, I literally started turning completely red, because I was like, oh, that in the chat, they're like,
reaction.
Ms. D, you're getting a little red there. Because I was like, I want to climb through here and I want to smack her.
Yeah. And those are the things, though, like as you get older too, and around, I think, more individuals and different circumstances, that if you're able to sniff that out and you're able to steer clear, and if you don't want to be in those situations or around those people, you don't have to, right? And like you said, that's everyone's decision. Everyone in a community, whether it's a true crime community, whether you're, local Massachusetts, or if you're anywhere in the world and beyond, like those are decisions everyone has to make. And if you do not give oxygen, babes, this is the one thing I will say. If we do not give oxygen, a fire can't breathe, like it cannot continue. It is put out. And that's where I personally would like to go, for me and for my community.
I mean, I preach it all the time on my channel that negativity doesn't get energy here. Drama doesn't get energy. And I just want to answer a question. Which trial was Bad Jennifer prosecuting? Hey, it's me, Stacy. It was Tennessee versus Zach Adams. And I did a complete trial replay of it. It's from 2017.
Oh.
And you all think that Judge Cannoni was bad. You ain't seen nothing till you've seen Judge Creed McGinley, that is the judge in this. And this rancid woman that we call Bad Jennifer in the Penguin, the prosecuting attorney, Jennifer Nichols. She's awful.
The Penguin, I can't. That's hilarious.
Oh, if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. She did that.
A little bit of a penguin. Oh, she's a little penguin. Okay. Now that is it. Are you covering the father and the oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
Just tell me the circumstances.
Someone was trying to kidnap his child, and then he ended up killing them. Is this right?
Ended up
no.
Oh gosh. This one wasn't an abduction.
Oh, okay.
Tennessee versus Zachary Adams. What it is, Zach Adams is in prison. They stay. Oh, are you talking about Aaron Spencer?
Spencer, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm staying away from that one. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that one. Certain cases, and Destin said Judge Creed watching football during the trial. Yeah, literally on the bench while someone's testifying. Not even joking. Actually happened. So there are certain cases. I stayed away from Delphi, Richard Allen. That's not a case that I followed. And I don't do kids. I don't do
kids either. I don't do kids.
So Aaron Spencer is not going to be something I cover.
Okay.
Because, and I think it's going to be kind of divisive also. And I really try to stay away from that as well. But yeah, I mean, we've got crazy Courtney Clenny. She's the OnlyFans girl that stabbed her boyfriend to death. So I'll be covering that.
I'm going to do Kouri Richins too, because I really am interested in that.
Kouri Richins, absolutely. Sarah Grace Patrick, she is supposed to be starting soon. She's the TikToker that, I just did a summary of her like last week or something like that.
And this was her parents? Was this her parents?
Mother and stepfather.
Mother and stepfather.
Yes. So yeah, we've got a really, really good, I hate to say docket, because it's not really my thing here, but calendar.
Upcoming trials. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot coming up. Barry Morphew, Brad Simpson, Antonio Brown. I was talking with DJ and Boston Bia about this also early on. Mark Sanchez, Antonio Brown. Who else do I have that's coming up? Kouri Richins, Courtney Clenny, Laken Snelling. Who else do we have? Laken Snelling's the University of Kentucky cheerleader that was pregnant and had the baby and put it in the closet and then left.
Oh, yeah.
So that one is one. And then David, whatever happens in California with the girl that was found in the Tesla, I'll be following along with that one as well. So because I'm a huge football fan, like sickly so, I like to cover sports cases. So obviously Antonio Brown and Mark Sanchez are going to be cases that I'll continue to. Oh, Raul Valle. Thank you, KS Granny. Yeah, Raul Valle has a hearing on the 6th of January. So yeah, Fraser Bohm will probably follow that. Nick Reiner.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do Reiner too, just because of the mental health component. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's a lot in 2026. Things will get delayed. And that's, I kind of joked and said that everybody was so caught up in the Karen Reed civil trial. And I'm like, y'all realize that this is probably not actually going to go to trial until like 2027. If we're lucky, and if it ever goes, because they might just settle out. Like there's a lot that can still happen. So, right. And of course, I didn't come on the scene covering Massachusetts. Of course, I came on the scene with good old Donna Adelson.
Of course you did.
So I'm not really tied to only taking or only covering Massachusetts cases. And Sandra Birchmore's federal, so we're not going to know anything going on with that.
Until, yeah.
And I only followed Brian Walshe because I was really waiting to see the Michael Proctor of it all. And it got proctologisted out of the trial. So
right. Yeah.
So that was kind of a letdown.
Yeah. So, and there's nothing going to be like, yes, absolutely. Like I'm going to be, I want to do Courtney Clenny. That's who you said, right? That's the OnlyFans. I would like to cover her. Kouri Richins. I'll cover AB too, Antonio Brown, because it's AB. Right. And like just when there are updates in all of the Massachusetts insanity, I will always cover it.
Have you watched any of the Antonio Brown videos or anything?
No.
Oh, girl. Yeah, we watched it on here, and there's a lot of ground that needs to be made by the prosecution.
Really?
Oh, yes. I'm anxious. That's part of the reason I want to cover it, because I want to hear what evidence are they bringing in that they are so certain of.
Are we free in AB?
I don't see the evidence as it stands right now.
AB, yes. Oh God, I love it. Oh, I can't misdemeanor. Okay, if you think it, then I'm gonna.
I mean, we all watched the video and we poured over it and we all talked about it here. And again, I'm the foreman of the jury, and all of us jurors, we looked at it and we're like, I don't know. Are you seeing what they're seeing and claiming? Because we read the charging documents, and I'm like, I ain't seeing this. I don't know what they're talking about, but this is like 2 and 2 is not giving me 4. My math ain't mathing like theirs.
Ooh.
So
that's problematic.
Yeah. So that'll definitely be one that you need to watch. What other grievances do you have to air?
Other grievances that I have to air. I don't really think I have any. There has been, just that nothing really. I think all of the grievances have been aired in the last couple of months. I think that there's been enough airing. I'd like to not air anything any further. I had a lot of grievanced out. Okay.
I really needed tonight because I had, some grievances about some judges, about some attorneys, about their behavior, about some investigations. If you did not hear the 12 grievances that Jodie had, she went through them all. It's fantastic. It
I'll go
is
back and listen.
a lot of Karen Reed content and super, super delightful. And so, yeah, I feel like I feel better now. And I think we're probably going to have to make this an annual thing. I mean, it is Festivus and everything. Be thankful I didn't ask you to do any feats of strength, or pull your pole out.
Thank you. Pull my pole out. Hey, it's not even 10 o'clock at night. I'm not pulling my pole out, misdemeanor.
Well, that's what Festivus is.
Yes.
You don't have a Christmas tree because it's a Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
George Costanza.
Yes.
Oh, and so there is just, I just wanted to say to you that it has been lovely to meet you. And thank you so much for coming on. You jumped over to my house, and thank you so much for inviting me here to Festivus. And that I'm sorry that I suck at DMs, but I'm trying to get better. And it is what it is. And I am coachable though. So, I am never too proud to say that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I think it's a good thing for all of us to never assume that somebody's saying something to you in like a bad way. You were like, Kim, check your messages. And I was like, yes, I'm doing it. But you have been a joy, and you were a joy since the first day I ever saw you in that courtroom. And I can't believe that you saw my tweet and that you were so kind to just say, yeah, I'll bop on with you. And it's been lovely and really impactful to see you grow. You are positive, you are kind, you are smart, you are a powerhouse of a person and a woman and of strength. And I just wanted to say, I hope that I am able to come back for next Festivus.
Absolutely. And likewise, I thank you so much for ever even noticing me or asking to come on your show, because quite frankly, and I was a little offended. Someone had put on some social media, I don't know if it was a comment on one of my live streams or if it was on the Twix, but they had said, something about, well, Melanie Little and Auntie Deb are who made her. And I was like, okay, first off, nobody makes misdemeanor but misdemeanor. Second off, you got that wrong. Nurse Kim and Justice Served TV were the very first two platforms that invited me on. And Justice Served TV has been so kind. I have been back many times with them. They are wonderful human beings. So I really love both Linda and Michael, and their mods and the support crew as well. But I do want to thank you for coming back. Thank you for having me the first time. Ultimately, what you do with an opportunity is up to you. And I definitely wanted to capitalize on the opportunity. And it's been wonderful. I have a really supportive and kind community so far.
Yeah.
That follows me. And I want to continue just supporting others doing the same thing. And, let's make sure we keep everybody honest and kind.
Take care of each other and take care of yourselves. Those are the things that we can do. And it's better. And I think when you are able to have those shows that you are so at the end, when you look and you see your community and you see the chat and you see your people, those are our people, right? And you just want them to always leave in a place better than when they came sometimes, right? And
Yes.
or you never want to make it worse for somebody. And that's kind of how I try to not just do online, but how I kind of try to live my life. So, and that's how you are. And I know it's true.
Well, this is what keeps me married to Mr. Demeanor because he doesn't have to listen to me talk about all of this stuff now. He's he is like in the zone. He's breeding guppies, y'all, like making dinner for me that's like outstanding. And so, oh yeah, like we're rolling along in the Demeanor household. It's happening. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I am certainly ready to put 2025 in the books.
Wrap it up. Okay.
I've had some good things happen, but I mean, on a career level, it's been a pretty unbelievably disappointing year. And I'm a Detroit Lions fan. And so I couldn't have a more disappointing season or year with my Detroit Lions than I have had this year. Yeah, Mav Hawk knows no meal kits in the Demeanor household, as I've learned. Yeah, he was giving me a hard time last night because my husband made Parmesan encrusted flounder over a bed of mashed potatoes. And he said, sounds like a meal kit. And I went, oh, no. You don't understand how Mr. Demeanor cooks. No, this is a meal that we found at a local restaurant, and we kept going back until Mr. Demeanor figured out how to make it at home for me. So he's that kind of cook.
That's so good. Wow.
Oh yeah. I made a really good choice there.
Oh, that's so lovely. How long have you been married, Miss Demeanor?
It'll be 26 years in April.
Oh.
So yeah. That. Yeah, we had our 25th earlier this year, and we don't let things fester. He's a Scorpio also. His birthday is 9 days after mine. And so we kind of, I know I've seen Bob and Allie Mata talk about this, that we don't, there's no going to bed angry and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's us. That's my household too. Yeah. We're like, oh, you're mad? All right, well, let's have it out right now. Spill it. Because we're going to deal with this if it takes us to 3 a.m. It'd be a whole lot better if we could resolve it before then. But this going to sleep angry, that's not going to happen. Ain't nobody going to sleep until this is solved. So
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you have done, and happy Festivus to you.
Thank you, Miss Demeanor. And thank you to the chickadees for being so incredible. And, I hope that our paths will cross again. And I know that they will. And I just wish you the best holidays for your Christmas, for your New Year's, and that we step into 2026 just with all the positive intentions, and to just put our best foot forward as always, and it's going to be our year, Miss Demeanor. Okay, 2026
I hope so.
Is going to be our year.
I hope so, and I hope you have a fantastic Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with your family and your loved ones, and that you stay safe and stay positive. I don't have to tell you to stay positive because I know you will.
All right.
So,
well,
thank you ever need a pep talk, I'm your girl.
Absolutely. I know you would be. All right, Miss Demeanor. Thank you. Bye,
thank
lovies.
you.
Bye, chickadees.
All righty, everybody. So next week, let's talk about some scheduling. And it's been a hot second since I told y'all, like, subscribe, put the notifications on, do what you got to do so that you can get more of my content. And I'm thinking next week of covering more of Zach Adams, especially because it's going to be leading up to the post-conviction relief hearings that are going to continue. So I'll make sure that I post it. Of course, probably Saturday, I'll send out a notification of cases on my radar. Sunday, I will put the upcoming dates out for everyone, and there may or may not be a Monday and Tuesday stream. I'm not positive on that. And yes, Felicia, yes, I think we are finally grieved out. We have aired all the grievances. I know I feel better. I hope you all feel better. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this Festivus celebration so amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Kelly, my mod, for doing such a fantastic job tonight. I very much appreciate it. And the rest of you, you know, I always say it doesn't cost a penny to be kind. So find someone to do something nice for today if you haven't already. And as always,